These kind of events are a fiasco to me. This is idiots taking themselves far too serious.
Rock against the rich. These are all Joe Strummer worlds, you know. You know, there's a band that haven't come up with anything of their own. What they literally are is a coat hanger with a studded leather jacket stuck on it. All right? And I think it's a parody and it's a shame.
John Lydon's disdain for certain musical acts wasn't merely a punk posturing. It was, in many cases, a deeply held philosophical objection to what he perceived as a lack of authenticity, a betrayal of the working class, or simply a profound boredom.
I don't have to explain myself to anybody, and I ain't going to really bother. Now, I was asked here, right, to interview with the band here, Pill, but now, like, we're facing a cheapskate comedy interrogation act.
The legend of the I Hate Pink Floyd t-shirt, a cornerstone of Sex Pistols lore, has often been misinterpreted.
At that time, you couldn't have been more disgusting and pissed people off in such a way than to do something like that, because nobody thought of criticising something as sacrosanct as Pink Floyd.
Sid was brilliant, Lydon told Mojo magazine in an interview published in January 2016. He was a true eccentric, an original. It was after he left that they became what they became, pompous, prog rock bores. The very act of wearing that t-shirt was a declaration of war, not just on Pink Floyd, but on an entire generation of rock stars who had, in Lydon's view, lost touch with their roots, their audience, and any semblance of danger.
I mean, they were the royal family of music.
This broader resentment extended to many of the luminaries of the so-called British invasion. Bands like the Rolling Stones, The Who, and The Animals, while revered by critics and fans alike, were, to Lydon, nothing more than pale imitations. They were piss poor, weren't they? He scoffed in a December 2014 interview with The Guardian. Just cheap copies of Black American blues music played very badly. His contempt stemmed from a belief that these bands, largely comprised of middle-class white men, had no genuine connection to the suffering and struggle that gave birth to the blues. They lacked the empathy and the grueling existence that black people had to endure to truly play the blues, he asserted in his autobiography. It was appropriation, pure and simple. They put white faces on black music, played very badly, and then got all the credit. For Lydon, the very ideology of the British invasion was a sham, a cultural theft devoid of true feeling. He saw them as part of the same problem as later, more bloated rock bands, a comfortable, privileged elite performing a watered-down version of authentic music for an equally comfortable audience. This widespread disillusionment with the established rock order would directly fuel his desire to create something entirely new and disruptive.